So we had a lot of conversation this week. We did. And it led a lot of people, um, some who really just 3 years ago were protesting for Black lives. I checked their profiles, yeah. But regardless, they were leaving vile racist comments in my comment section. Yeah, yeah. But some of those comments were about race and class, and it got me to thinking about privilege. Which, of course, got me to thinking about one of our first conversations when I first got on TikTok. Do you remember that conversation? It was about intersectionality. Yeah, yeah. And I was reminded that we talked about how it was coined by Kimberly Crenshaw, and that it said, each of us have our own unique experiences of discrimination and oppression. Yeah. It said that we all have characteristics that impact how we experience privilege and oppression. Yeah. And that those characteristics could be race, ethnicity, gender, age, religion. The list goes on. And that intersectionality shows how institutions like white patriarchy work together to oppress and grant privilege. And then we talked about my my first example. You know, I like examples. And we started with the most basic example, right? We compared white women to black men to black women. Let's do that now. Now, first, we all came to the understanding that the United States is a caste system. Some of you may not have realized it, but it is. Yes, I know it says all men are created equal, but the United States doesn't believe that, so come to grips with that, okay? Now, the United States is a caste system, and straight white men sit at the top of that caste system. The rest of us are ranked according to how they see us, okay? Now, based on this, we know that white women, right? They are oppressed because they are women, so they suffer from sexism. We know that black men are oppressed because they are black, so they suffer from racism. So black women are oppressed because they are black and they are women, so they suffer from sexism and racism, right? But remember, we said that the institutions also grant privilege, right? So using that same example, white women have privilege because they are white, and black men have privilege because they are men. And in that example, do black women have privilege? The answer would be no. Now, let's add on with an additional example. Let's use white gay men. White gay men, well, they suffer from oppression because they are gay. So that would be homophobia. And let's say black gay men, well, they suffer from homophobia and racism because remember, they are black. And let's add black trans women. Well, they suffer from transphobia because they are transgender, racism because they are what? Black, and sexism because they are women. And you can fight me on that if you want to, but I wouldn't suggest doing it. Now, remember, the institutions also grant privilege. So, white gay men have privilege because they are white and they are men. And black gay men have privilege because they are men. Now, do Black transgender women have privilege? The answer would be no. Now, these are just basic examples, right? All of these things could change if you add age, physical ability, religion, right? All of these things could change if you add different variables. Now, I enjoyed this walk down memory lane, and I have a whole playlist on intersectionality if you would like to learn more, okay? Don't forget, it's Black History Month. This lesson was free, and I have Venmo.